guys, and welcome to Sippin Tea Wit D. I'm your host, D. So glad that you could be with me on today. Guess what, you guys? It is time for Father's Day. So we have a very special father in the house today. You guys, it's very important for me as a mother to honor those fathers that are not only just dads, but they're a father in every aspect of the word. I'm talking about ministry. He works, he speaks, he writes. He's all of the in one. And guess what? He uses none of them as an excuse not to be there for his child. So that is huge, you guys. So I want you guys to know that the person that we're having on the show today, he's extra special to me in all of the words that I can even think of and imagine. And guess what? He didn't even realize what he was on the show for today. So that makes it even more bigger to me because guess what? He didn't even realize that we were looking at him to be Dad of the Year on the Sippin Tea Wit D show. That's awesome. But you guys already know. We'll get to that in a minute. So check it out. Now, next week is questions and answers. So I definitely need you guys to make sure that you get your questions and answers in immediately so that I can go over them, so I can get it recorded, so everything will go off just like it's supposed to. info@DionWilliams.com or go on DionWilliams.com and leave your messages there. Or if you're just busy, like I'm busy, just go to the bottom of the screen and just leave the messages there. Somebody's going to get your questions and we're going to get them answered for you. I don't want to delay you guys anymore because I know you're wondering who do D feel like should be Dad of the Year. So guess what, you guys? Without further ado, help me welcome author and speaker, Mr. Eller Thomas, you guys. Hi, Mr.
Hey,
Thomas.
Jen,
How are
you
you?
doing?
Welcome to Sippin Tea Wit D. Have a seat.
I appreciate it. Thank
Yes,
you.
welcome.
Daddy of the Year?
Daddy of the
Wow.
Year. Yes, and guess what? We got that way because we were wondering. You know, we sit back as women,
Okay.
and we can even go as far as
That you
African,
are.
that I am,
Okay.
and we could go as far as African American women if you would like to. And we're like, we're trying to figure out what does a poster of a dad looks like, and who would be that poster,
Okay, well, I'm honored that you will feel that's me, right?
right?
That's what you're saying. So you're asking how do I define that?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, well, essentially, one thing I was thinking about when I talked to my wife and how we want to raise our son is that I realized the reason why most men are absentee is because to be a father means there has been advancement in manhood.
Right.
And so if I'm not advancing as a man, how could I ever be truly a father, right?
Right.
Even though I did not have any father figures per se who are positive in my life, I decided one thing. When I do become a father,
Right.
I'll be one of the greatest fathers and no one will be able to beat me hands down. So
Well, I'm glad that you feel that way, and just saying that we're watching you, just know that we're honored that we can say that you are.
Okay.
Now, one of the things that we just want to jump right into is Eller Thomas is not only a dad, but you have a lot of stuff that's going on, and while we got your attention and while we have this time, we definitely want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. Why don't you share with us some of the things that Eller Thomas has going on right now and what the world can look forward to when it comes to Eller Thomas?
Well, besides being a husband to a phenomenal woman, as
Yes.
you know, my wife Kimberly Thomas and
Who
my
we
son,
love.
right, and my son Eller Thomas II. He's
Yes.
my namesake for a reason because his name means courageous,
Okay.
and he wasn't even supposed to be here.
Okay.
Supposedly. Oh, let me back up real quick. I didn't want a child at first, right?
Okay.
Well,
Talk to me.
I was like, you know what? I raised two brothers. I'm older in age. I'm good. I want to write. I want to do my speed cam. I want to tour, travel. That's what I want to do, right?
Okay.
And then I got this information like, you know what? We're expecting. I said, what? We're expecting what?
Right. Right.
Is this like Christmas? I didn't even know what the word expected means. So I saw that movie, What You Expect, or something like that.
I'm with you. Come on.
So I was like, is that what you're talking about? I was like, yes. I said, oh, okay. Then I realized there's going to have to be a shift in my life that takes place.
Okay.
So although I speak, and I speak nationally, I actually am a published author as well. I got a new book coming out called Defeating Goliath. And I think, I think this book is also be phenomenal for people who are facing challenges such as fatherhood.
Okay.
I think oftentimes fatherhood is either that is innately within you or someone teaches you how to become a father.
Okay.
And if you don't have those examples of in front of you, how do I become successful, right?
Right.
Just like anything with you, you do your speaking, you do your shows, which I'm so proud of you.
Well,
for,
thank
right?
you. Thank you.
Phenomenal woman.
Thank
right?
you.
But I want to talk directly about the men.
Okay.
They are holding themselves captive.
Okay.
I will do the activities that will cause a woman to produce, but yet I don't see myself capable of handling the production.
Okay.
But you have to understand, I help manufacture this.
Come on.
So oftentimes they're making excuses, but what they're really saying, I'm too insecure to address the fact that I am not manly enough to stand as an example in a child.
Okay.
But yet I feel that I'm man enough to engage in certain activities that will produce this.
Right.
So essentially, when you said I'm not going to be this child's father or daddy, you're saying I'm inadequate as a man.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's big. Yeah.
Yes. So now the true issue, or the glass that is in the room, is who am I?
Wow.
Who am I? Am I an individual who actually don't mind gyrating to produce this?
Come on.
But if that's all I am, then I'm really living below what my potential and my purpose is, right? So essentially, besides that, that's what I'm doing. Taking juggling life, family. So there's no such thing as too busy for your child. I actually have my own publishing company. I have my own speaking company. I'm a writer.
Yes.
I actually have a whole do a lot of consulting, etc. Where is the excuse? You don't have, because when you're called to fatherhood, that means I have to sacrifice some things temporarily to make sure the fruition of my vision comes to life, which is my child.
Right. I love it. I like the way that you said that he is the vision of your vision, because what that says is that you can't be who you are ordained to be without being the father.
That's right.
To your son, which is big. One of the things that when I thought about this show, and I said, it's a lot of women who are in church that are hurting, and they're hurting because the fathers of their children happen to have titles in the church, and they're watching their father, the father of their child, work in ministry, and they may be speaking, you're teaching in ministry this,
right?
But your reality is something totally different. So what do you say to the woman who who says, well, my baby's father, who is in ministry, says that his name or his title does not allow him to really be there for his child?
I'm glad you asked that question, because first you have to identify that a title doesn't make you the individual, right?
Okay.
The individual makes the title. So if I'm minister so-so, pastor so-so, well, that means I have a certain level of integrity that allows me to earn this. If I'm not taking care of home, then all that title is useless.
Right.
I was saying to me, okay, respect me on Sunday,
Oh, that's good.
but Monday through Saturday, don't respect me.
Right.
So just like a lot of people go to church, they come to get the word for that 1 hour, right?
Right.
We're telling to young ladies, okay, you know what? I have not earned your respect except for one day.
Right.
So I've now opened up the doors of compromise in our relationship, and my child can see that, right? So I can say this, like, first off, you have to take some accountability and ask yourself, what did I see this individual that allowed me to be able to produce this, right?
Right.
Okay. What's these awesome signs? Okay. When you come to the fruition, or should I say the circle of thought, say, you know what? I actually have something to do with this, so let me check myself first, make sure I'm doing all I can, my child.
Yeah.
Now we have to have an adult conversation.
Right.
Me and you, without excluding the child. When we came together to create this, title or no title,
Right.
I need you to practice the very thing that you're teaching everybody else. Because what ends up happening, there's this motto that says, fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I don't like
That's
that.
great until you get caught.
Okay.
Right? So, because I assure you, somebody's investigating your life to ensure that you walk in the walk
Yeah.
that you're talking.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So I say, ladies, you know what? Find a way, in a non-combative way, to have a real conversation with a man. Because a real man's going to say, you know what? Look, you're right. How can I be better?
Yeah.
Based upon what you think I'm doing. Because Scriptures talks about how man's line up with God.
Come on.
And everything underneath that is actually follow suit. Follow me as I follow Christ.
Right.
The moment, and following Christ also means I have to be an adequate father. So what you're telling me is that I'm inadequately following Christ
Right.
if I'm not going to be a father. So how do you earn the respect of the individual
Right.
who is out of line? See, if you teach in ministry, I can talk to your ministry.
Right. Come on.
Right? If you use the word, I can use the word.
Right.
Because now I've earned the right, because you're operating in a title, or should I say position, that we should be able to have a dialogue about the word.
Okay. I love it. I'm so glad that you said that. It's going to actually put a lot of things in perspective for a lot of people. Not only for the mother, but for that child. Because I know that we have children that who are older in age now, and they know that their parents are engulfed, or their dad, since this is a dad show.
Right.
Their dad is in ministry on levels, but they see dad, and they're like, even to them, they feel like dad is untouchable on Sundays. How is it that they have to get around? Because they have to figure out a way to get around it. But as a man of God who is in ministry, you do have a son. He will grow up. You know, is there a boundary?
There's a boundary. Well, let's put it this way. Think about going to work.
Okay.
Right? There are certain policies. They know you have a family, but while you're operating in this dimension, we need not to have the distraction.
Right.
Because the distraction, even though it's temporarily, will cause what the ultimate purpose is. Right?
Okay.
So I set the expectation between this time. I have to be reverenced as so and so.
Right.
Make sense? Okay. After that, but the expectation has to be set. I think what's happening, we're failing to set the expectation on what's appropriate and what's inappropriate.
Okay.
Because a child's only going to do what a child thinks to do to get the attention that he or she needs from her father.
Okay.
His father,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So, Daddy, you're pastor, yeah, but I don't understand what that really means.
Mhm.
Daddy, you are armor bearer. Daddy, you are usher. I don't know what that means. Where are the boundaries? And that actually is what's groomed and put into a child over time, where they already know, okay, you know what? Daddy's at work.
Okay.
So since Daddy's at work, I'm gonna hold my question until Daddy's done.
Okay.
Right? Because you still want to make sure you have a respect factor.
Okay.
You know, I look at my leader, love him, right? Even though he looks at me as a son, I know the boundaries of what I can say, what I can't say, depending on what the atmosphere is.
Okay.
Right? Because there might be some times that, because the eyes are watching me as a father, I can't address certain things. Because there's two things happening: my father and my brand.
Right.
That's good.
That was good.